You make me feel like a woman, make me talk like a girl. You make me ooh, you make me you make this pussy confirmed. Hi, today we're gonna be trying lore. Remember a few videos ago I told you about how my flight from Texas back to Korea was like delayed or whatever? A slight blessing in disguise because around the time that I left Texas, NYX, the makeup brand, came out with this Wednesday collection. Da-da. That's so cute. There's also this lip. Oh my god, this is adorable. Look at that. Tried calling all the Ultas. Hi, did you get the stock for this? They're like, nope. Nowhere had it. So I had to order online, and it did say like, oh, it's gonna arrive like the day before I leave Texas, but literally it arrived in my house. Literally the time my original flight was supposed to leave is when it arrived at my house. But because my flight was delayed, I was able to go back home and pick it up. So you got it. I did actually try it off camera once, so I have a, I can kind of talk about it a little bit more. But anyway, do my skincare. Okay, so back on the tretinoin, because I actually stopped using it for like a month or so while I was in America. I was on TikTok, because one of my biggest things with tretinoin, and you guys know if you watch my videos, I get the peeling skin, which is fucking annoying. But some person was like, oh, one thing that really helped my skin from peeling a lot is skin flooding, which if you haven't heard about it before, it's basically just layering your toners and shit, right? And your skincare, not waiting for each layer to absorb yet. You kind of literally just put one after the other, which I have tried before, but I think over time doing skincare, K-beauty or whatever, I guess either maybe, because I used to be so obsessed with ingredients in my skincare that helped exfoliate, acid toners and shit like that. But over time, I realized it's not great for my skin to use it so often because it fucks up my skin barrier. So, I would pare down and use the more gentle stuff. But then I realized a lot of these even gentle toners will still have like either essential oils or like maybe not necessarily like AHA, BHA, PHA, but like other types of similar ingredients that can slightly exfoliate the skin. Anything could slightly irritate my skin, which I never really thought that I had like the most sensitive skin. In videos, if I ever said I had sensitive skin, it's because my skin was being irritated. So I was like, you know what? Let me try to actually do research this time on skincare that is like 100% super fucking gentle. There's nothing in there except purely hydrating ingredients. So I found these three, which I have been using for my skin flooding, and happy to say, very successful. And the peeling has really lessened a lot this time with me using tretinoin. Before I would just deal with it, but now I've noticed there's still a little bit, to be honest, when I'm wearing makeup. So if you're not really a makeup wearer, then it should be no issue. But if this peeling thing is really annoying you, then you might want to check these out. Anyway, so this first one is from Round Lab, their Dokdo Toner. I feel like this brand is like so famous anyway, especially amongst the skincare girlies. So for this one, it's the lightest one, it's the most watery one. And then I slept on this Illiyoon one. I thought they only made body care products, but apparently they make skincare too. So this Ceramide Ultra Gentle Skin Toner. My skin loves ceramide, so this works out really well for me. You see I'm not like patting or whatever, I'm literally just smoothing it on. But this one is Hada Labo, which I've used a lot, the original blue one, but it's the premium line or whatever. This is the Lotion. I love how I won't say J-pop. In J Beauty, toners often referred to as lotion. So, yep. And there, yeah. And then on top of that, I kind of choose whatever lotion I want, to be honest. So for today, I'm going to use my go-to. This is like my favorite thing for before I do people's makeup or my own ingredients. Compared to other lotions, it's a lot more watery. So I almost felt like it wouldn't do anything, but actually once it's settled into the skin, it feels not thicker, but it just feels more like plump. So this is really good for anybody with a damaged skin barrier. If you're really only interested in seeing this part of the video, then obviously you can just skip. I'll put the little timestamp things below, but I'm gonna be doing my full face. So I'm gonna be using let me just use two. I don't know. I remember I got a comment a long time ago. Of course, this is during 2016, so full makeup was more popular, like that really heavy makeup. And I've always been into like natural base, natural foundation, whatever. So even if I'm using a full coverage foundation, I still apply it very like in a natural way. But this fucking 4K camera is so high, like so intense that it makes my skin actually look worse on camera because it picks up things that like human eye doesn't really like in person. So I'm like, maybe for the camera, I need to put on more makeup, which makes sense, you know, like even for like weddings and like stuff like that, they always talk, makeup artists always talk about like, even if the bride technically isn't really a makeup wearer and they want to look natural for the wedding photos, they still have to wear more makeup so it looks natural in the video, I guess. So I'm going to use 3 base products technically. My typical, here you go, Charlotte Tilbury and Glow. That will go on the outside, and then a lighter foundation, the Anastasia one that I showed you, that will be in the middle. Okay? Okay. You know, I've been doing this for the past few days, and it still looks natural. I don't know why I was so scared to put more makeup on. Just because the way I put it on ends up making it look more natural anyway. My eye is fucking watering, so that's gonna fuck us over later. But whatever. Oh my god, hold up. Let me do my beard first. My Malu Wilz concealer. Do you see how well that gets rid of that blueness of my beard? Bro, I need to finish those fucking laser treatments. It's just that I can't stand the pain of the laser. I don't think it's a new thing, but whenever you get your facial hair laser done, while they're doing the laser on one hand, on the other hand, they have like a tool that it basically blows cold ass air. So when they're doing it around your nose, you can barely, you know, when you like are in a moving vehicle and you put your head out the window and you can't breathe, it's like that. So I have like the thing in my fucking face trying to laser off my mustache, and I'm like, so this will go out here. Sort of the line of demarcation is, remember you know, every time I show you guys the side, like that line here of where it's the flat part of the cheek here and then like where the cheek goes back. That's kind of where I place this darker color, the part of the cheek that goes back. So for me, it's like this. And it's gonna be different for every face. I just realized this Kaleidos mirror is gonna suit the Wednesday collection really well. But with this Wednesday collection, one of the things that really intrigued me about it, because I saw it originally on Reddit, I think it's the New in Beauty subreddit. What intrigued me was that there's a lot of cool tone stuff. Cool tone, like proper cool tone shit, because obviously it's like Wednesday, like gothic vibes. I just thought it was something I was like, wow, the fact that it takes a collaboration with this sort of like gothic character show for a makeup brand to fucking come out with like cool tone shit. Girl, brands are a little bit better about it these days, but I still feel like even if something is labeled as cool toned, it's not actually cool toned. But I've been trying this collection. I actually, girl, especially the contour palette. Oh my god, I think I found the one, y'all. I'm sad that this is probably limited edition, but this contour palette that they have. I mean, I'll talk about more when we get to it. But because when I bought this, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be fun for a video, and I'll probably never use it again. But I almost want to say that might be one of my go-tos. So I might have to stock up again, y'all. Oh my, this eye is fucking watering, bruh. I heard some people put Vaseline in their eye, like around here to prevent the watering, but it's gonna fuck up my eye makeup later. Anyway, the Anastasia foundation. Oh my, also, is anybody going to the Crystal K concert in Dallas? I'm actually going back to the States for like 4 days just to see my girl Crystal. Girl, I'm so fucking excited. I've never got to see her live. The only, you know, I do K-pop or whatever, but my first love was J-pop. And the only J-pop adjacent, or actually there's two. The only two J-pop groups I ever got to see in person live were Perfume and Kyary Pamyu, which, you know, love them, of course, always. But I want to see some of my solo girlies. Never got to see Anami Amuro. But now that Miss Crystal K is touring, girl, I'm so excited. I am a little bit sad though that she already did 2 shows, one in Orlando, one in Atlanta. And I saw clips, of course, on TikTok. And it was just like a standing show, like where she's just standing with the mic and singing. She's dancing a little bit to the music, but I was kind of hoping for like a Crystal K 10th anniversary in, you know, that sort of vibe with like the backup dancers and stuff. But it's a very small tour, so I can understand why they wouldn't have like dancers and shit. But I'm so excited. I got VIP tickets and shit, hoping to ask her to sign my favorite album of hers, All Yours. That's like my favorite J-pop album from a solo singer like ever. Cross my fingers, hope to die. Stick a poodle in your eye. Just kidding. It's a Rugrats reference if you didn't know. Yeah, even though a lot of these foundations I'm using are more on the matte dry side. I mean, I did mix the Glow foundation with the other one, so it's not as bad. But because of the combination of skincare products, those are really good as like almost like the type of skincare to use before really matte products, because it really helps with maintaining moisture in the skin. So you see how even though I use a matte foundation, there's a little bit of a glow here, which I'm gonna get rid of with powder. But if you're not really a powder girly, if you have drier, more dehydrated skin, but also you do like your more matte foundations because you don't like to look super, super shiny, then that type of skincare is really fantastic. Okay, let me try to I mean, I guess it would go with the look to have like dark circles or whatever, but this has been like pissing me off lately. And I'm like, do I need to get fillers again? I'm trying to find a way to, I mean, if I do this, you don't really see it, but I don't know, I always have my head down so you can really see these fucking dark circles. I'm gonna use this super, super light concealer, but only right here at the very bottom of where that dark line is. If I blend this all the way to up to my eye, it just looks fucking, it looks like, you know those people that tan ever except their eyes? It looks like that. This is just to lift that sort of like really intense purple tone. Like, see, it kind of helped. So I'm using like that really fucking bright lemon tone concealer. Now I'm gonna set my face with a little bit of powder. I'm gonna use this one from this older Flower Nose collection. I'm using this one because it actually brightens my face because it's not transparent. It has a kind of bit of color to it. And I feel like every time I use this, people are like, why is your face so bright? So I'm gonna use this one because I feel like it will go with the whole Wednesday vibe. I'm also gonna use this powder that my favorite Chaongshu creator uses. What I love about like Taobao and like AliExpress is that you can screen capture an item that someone's using and then you upload that to Taobao or AliExpress and it can find it for you. And I'm surprised Amazon doesn't have anything like that yet. But it's this brush in particular. It's a powder brush, and it's because I feel like a lot of like Western or whatever powder brushes will be like this, right? Like, oh, this is your powder brush, you dip in your powder and you do this. But I don't like doing that. I like tapping my powder in. So, you know, I could use like a powder puff basically, but also sometimes a powder puff gets too much product on there. So this is perfect because it's flat and it gets right in the powder like this. Excuse me. Now, these are like the blush I'm gonna be using and the contour is a Western brand. So they're gonna be way more pigmented. So I'm putting the powder on first so that they blend on more smoothly. Does it look okay on camera? Girl, 21 minutes in, what the fuck are we? And then for my eyebrows, what am I doing for my eyebrows? Oh my God, nothing pisses me off more than when you drop, like even just dropping something you're about to use, that already pisses me off. But when it has the audacity to roll away or bounce away, like way farther than it fucking needs to, that pisses me off for some reason. And I'm like, girl, I need to take anger management classes because I'm gonna use a Sweet Mint eyebrow pencil. Sweet Minto. You guys, I caved and I ended up just shaving my eyebrows, trimming them, cleaning them up. In my head, what I thought was like, oh, natural, keeping all my brow hair. Doesn't look that great on camera. Because when I have all the extra hair here, it's kind of hard to see the shape of the brow that I want to draw in. And so they end up really wonky, but anyway, let's get into the Wednesday collection with NYX. So there's 4 items that I got. There's more, but I didn't get it. There's also this really fucking cute phone case. It has a hand on the back, but the hand can holds a little umbrella that can like cover your phone from the sun. I thought that was so cute, but I'm like, I'm never gonna fucking use that. But there is a contour palette, and I think it's cute that the blush palette kind of sort of stained glass and it's supposed to be like a cobweb, but they kind of like, unfortunately they don't stick together. That would have been so fun and like convenient, but yep. And there's an eyeshadow palette, Nevermore Academy palette. And the package is so adorable. So what do you call this technology? Love the color story, love it. Perfect for cool winter. If you're a cool winter, you're gonna love this because you got the rosy tones, rosy variations on typical shades. Like what would be like your light brown shade, but it's a nice, cool mauve rose. And then you have like a more, grayish shade, but it has that purple rosy tone. Then you have your deeper brown shade, but it's that mauve rosy brick sort of shade. And then you have your black, which I don't really use. But if I feel like I need to add more definition a little bit in my eyeliner, I'll use that. Then you have like 1, 2, 3, 4 different shimmers. Most of them are like sheer, like the base is sheer, and it's mostly like the sparkle and I guess topper shades. So they're not pigmented, they're more like sort of like to decorate your eye. But in general, very beautiful cool tone palette. You don't get very many cool tone options in Sephora, Ulta, whatever drugstore in the States. The fact that it has come out in this limited edition collection, girl, I feel like you can only find tones like this often really in like C Beauty, you know? But more exciting than the eyeshadow palette is the contour palette for me. Typically when you think contour palettes, especially, I feel like brands are getting a little bit better about it these days. Like, oh, contour shades should be more on the gray side. But for me, I do feel like, especially if you have like olive or more yellowy skin, yeah, of course, you know, contour should be gray, but sometimes if it's too gray, it can look like a sideburn, especially if you contour here. It looks like it looks gray, especially if you're doing, I guess if you're doing the more Western style of contour, it makes sense. But you know, when I'm doing the more Asian style, whatever, it just looks like a sideburn. But with these tones, if you notice, yes, they're more on the like the grayish side, but this is my typical contouring palette. You see how these contour colors look a little bit more almost like pink in a way? And you know what? That little bit of pink red tone in it actually looks, at least on my light medium olive tone skin, it could be just because these are Western products, so they're more pigmented. It looks more effective, I think. Where was this made? It was made in, oh, it was made in China. Well, there you go. I think the only ass thing in here is this thing. Honestly, when I also saw this, I was like, it's giving C Beauty. You've got your matte highlighter shade, but this is kind of ass, to be honest. I mean, that looks pigmented or whatever, but when I put on my skin, I feel like it doesn't really do much. You know what I mean? Actually, you know what? How about we use that first? And then I can contour after that so that if I put too much of this, I can contour around it. So I'll put it here. This part here on my mouth, it's kind of like weird because as I'm getting older, this is like sinking. Sinking is not the right word in English. It's drooping. So a lot of times I'll take these matte highlighting powders and kind of just brighten this area. It's not that bad, to be honest. It's not that bad, but I just feel like my C Beauty ones are a lot more pigmented. Like they're really good at making these like brightening powders. And then let's do the contour now. The contour is very, very fucking pigmented, so I need to be careful. Yeah, you can see obviously it's more pigmented than some of my other, like even my flower nose one. But I think because of the actual tone and undertone of the contour color itself, I don't mind that it's more pigmented. I don't know how to explain it. I just really like that pinkish tone. It reminds me of, like a few times on like Xiaohongshu, I'll see some boys that do makeup that they'll contour their nose like a blush. So while it's contoured, it also looks like it's blushing a little bit. Like, you know, when you get cold and your nose gets a little bit red, it kind of almost has that vibe without being too much in that blush territory. It's like right like on the cusp, you know. I'm using the second contour shade here just to deepen certain parts a little bit. If you watch a lot of like content talking about like, oh, if your Xiaohongshu makeup is not giving Xiaohongshu makeup or Douyin makeup is not giving Douyin makeup, it's because of your contour. Because obviously in Douyin makeup, contour is a big part of it. You really need that high contrast. But I've never really, I don't know, I always felt like I had trouble with getting that high contrast feeling from a lot of even C Beauty stuff. And I think it's just because a lot of them are just too light for me. I'm gonna do my Cupid's bow contour. That was a bit much, but it's okay. We're currently in the time where people on TikTok are like, oh, the clean girl movement ruined makeup. Now everyone's too natural. Where's the makeup? Where's the putting on the makeup? So you know what? If I put too much, it's okay. I don't know. I love it when the lips have a lot of shading around them. I really feel like it makes the lips more plump than actually, you know, I feel like I talk too much shit about Western makeup, but you know, I feel like in the West, to get a bigger lip, they do like the whole lip liner thing, but I do feel like shading really helps with giving that plump effect as well. So anyway, I should probably put fucking lip balm. Let me put some lip balm so I don't talk to you with dry ass fucking lips. I haven't used this in a while, my little Daiso lip mask. Speaking of Daiso, girl, you know, I still be visiting Daiso and all that, but now there's too many fucking brands, and I don't know, they have enough space for all the brands that are wanting to come into fucking Daiso. There's just so many now. All the brands that are originally got really popular in Daiso, their displays are getting smaller and smaller because all the other brands are trying to come the fuck in. Even like Etude made a fucking brand for that. Some girl, that shit looks ass. You know what? While we're still on the cheeks, let's do the blush. How about that? They also have this 4-color blush palette, the Enid. Is that one of the characters' names? Enid blush palette. Enid? If you saw my video where I was doing that really intense under eye pink blush, if you like that look, this is pretty much the type of colors that will look really pretty for that type of look. Like the really popular, like, oh, Idol, or not even just Idol, but I feel like a lot of regular girls do that these days too. In Korea with like the really pink under eye blush. This is perfect for that. If you have tan to deep to dark skin, because these are just so fucking pigmented. Even this one is, like, it's still in that vibe of like cute under eye blush, but the pigment is just too intense for me. So it actually looks almost not darker, it just looks so too vibrant, I think. Because for me, if I want that cute under eye blush look, I want a little bit of like a slight transparent pink vibe, but this is just too pigmented. So if you have deeper skin, this is gonna be perfect for you. I have tried the purple blush and it's just so purple. So if you have tan to deeper skin and you have more of the redness in your skin, but you want a cool tone blush, this would be perfect. Again, that purple tone is gonna really help with redness. Obviously, you have really deep skin, dark skin, these two will be really pretty. This is the only shimmer in here. They're all matte, but this shimmer one, it's like this pinky red. It's the warmest color in the palette, but it's a really pretty shade on its own. That's fucking pretty. So perfect for like cool tone, like maybe like, I keep bringing up Fatu. Black Silk Fatu, she's a cool winter. That would be fucking beautiful on her as like a, because I feel like with dark skin, a lot of them, yes, we need pigment and stuff, but I feel like a lot of the tones for blush for darker skin are always just red. I mean, you know, I'm gonna use this brush. I don't really use this for contour, but these like sort of dual fiber. Remember back in the day, like 2015, everybody was using brushes like this for their foundation and shit. But I'm gonna use this because it deposits way less pigment. Oh, my eyes are gonna start watering. But even just that very, like, I barely had anything on there, but you can see it's really starting to show up. So I'm just gonna keep it to that. Sorry, that's all of the blush palette you're gonna see from me. Oh shit, my lenses. Let me put some lenses on. I forgot about that. I love the color of these lenses, but it's one of those fucking highlight lenses where one part of it is like white, so it's supposed to look like a highlight, but it turns around as you wear them. So sometimes it looks like my eyes are looking like opposite ways. But the gray part is just so pretty. Okay, let's get into the eyeshadow palette. This is the Nevermore Academy palette. I'm just so fucking sad that, because I love a nice vertical opening palette, because if this had a mirror, you could see your whole face, it'd be game fucking over, bitch. You know, the typical palettes will open like this way. The thing is, there's not a lot, in terms of the matte shades, there's no like brightening colors, like bright. I love a good bright color because that helps with the contrast. But just like with many typical Western eyeshadow palettes, a lot of the colors are just mid to dark. And so that means you're gonna get less dimension. And so you can't really layer a lot of, I mean, it depends on the types of looks that you like, but for my personal style or whatever, if I layer too many of these, it just looks muddy in the end. So I can really get away with like 1 or 2 shadows before it starts to look like too much almost. I'm actually gonna keep a lot of my eye open here, but apply more of the shadow like on the outer corner. So I'm gonna start with, I love it. Like honestly, this color here is perfect for every day, like a daily, just all of the eye and be done with it for cool tones. Without being like too cool tone, because I feel like a lot of like, oh, I'm cool tone, so I have to use cool tone makeup. So they think like, oh, they have to use colors like this on the eyes or whatever, but not necessarily. That would be a good like daily, like a natural, like instead of like, you know, a lot of people use bronzer because it's supposed to be natural, but if you're cool tone, a bronzer just looks like bronzer in your eye. So this is a very natural rosy tone you can use for all over, but I'm gonna use this one right here. You know, I'll mix them. How about that? How about that? Did you see that? Girl. Normally, I like to put my base shadow like all over the eye, but because I want my eye shape to still be a little bit more, like keep some brightness in my eye, I'm gonna keep this part of my lid rather clean. But you see how pretty that tone is? It's so pretty. And I have tried this all over my lid, and yeah, even though it's more on the dark side, it's still very pretty. So if you're into that more intense sort of like look or like heavier eye look, it's still like the color combination is really pretty. A little bit into the crease. And just so that I don't end up blending it too far out, I'm gonna switch to a different brush that doesn't have any pigment on it and just, let's tap first. That way, because some people will just start blending like this, but I feel like you have more control if you tap where you want the color to be first. Those are so pretty. It definitely does give that sort of gothic vibe though, I feel like, with that that purple undertone. And then I'm gonna take the same colors, probably actually take whatever's left on the brush here and then go right underneath here, just at the very outer corner. Just the outer corner, because I don't want to go too far, because again, it will look too dark for me. Then I'm going to use this really deep brick with a burgundy undertone shade, just to make that even darker. I really want to use this silver here, so I'm gonna use it on this type of brush. If you really want that pigment, use your finger. What I love about this silver in particular is that when you put it on your eye, it has almost like a green undertone. So it's perfect for olive tones because I'm more neutral. I'm soft summer. So I look good in not necessarily super, super cool tone, but something that has a little bit of warmth in it, like neutral, right? Neutral leaning cool. So this, because of that slight bit of green in the undertone, it works so well on my eyes without looking too cool tone. You know what I mean? So pretty, bruh. It's even more intense when you use your finger, but I don't feel like using my finger today, so. Honestly, even that shadow, even just by itself, is so nice. So nice. And then it looks a little bit dirty here in the pan, because I've been touching it. These types of shadows, if you get any oil on them, they will get that hard pan layover. So all you have to do is either one, take a piece of Scotch tape, stick it on there and pull it off and it will pull out that dry bit. Or if I'm lazy, I'll just take a tissue or something and just rub the top off, and it does the same thing. To get enough pigment out, it's not a pigmented shadow, but to get enough sparkle and shimmer from it, you kind of have to use your finger. But if your finger has oil on it, it kind of causes a hard pan. So it's kind of like, I want to put this in the very inner corner of my eye, so I have to use a brush. Yo, yeah. Wow. Yeah. Now I'm going to use this shade right here, the very first shade, and use it for my egg hair. And like I said, because there's no like matte bright shade in there, I'm just going to go back into the contour palette and use that to highlight my hair. Ooh. Isn't this low-key kind of giving Sea Beauty vibes? The color I use on my inner corner, I'm going to use a tiny bit here as well. Just in the very center. How about we use some of this on the nose too? That'll be pretty, I think. Because there's no shimmer highlighter in the contour palette, so. Yo, hold up. Oh, wow. I don't know why I didn't notice it until now, but it's one of those white, transparent base shimmer shadows, but the shimmer is very blue. It's the type of color that if the light is not hitting your face, it doesn't look like anything, but then when you turn your head and the light catches it, you can see that flash of blue. I had my suspicions, but definitely the pink, the bright pink that's in here, even when I first saw it, I was like, that's not the coolest pink I've seen. If you have skin tone like mine, the warmth of it comes out a lot more. So, I mean, it's still pink on the cheek, but it's definitely starting to look more warm toned. So do keep that in mind. That's why I think if you mix it with the purple a little bit, I think you'll definitely get more of that cool tone, like the true cool tone pink. But by itself, that sort of grapefruit pink, the warmth is coming out. Should we do lashes? Just a few. Just a few. I got these new ones from Taobao and I feel like they're really, really pretty. Again, favorite creator, showed them, I was like, I need to buy those. They're very fluffy, I guess. They're still in that Douyin style, but they're very fluffy. They almost remind me of Western lashes. So I think I might use this one actually. Curl my lashes first. These lashes are so thin. They straight up look like lashes from like, have you ever seen those like videos where it shows like, oh, eyelashes from the 1920s, and they're like these really scraggly looking lashes? This kind of looks like that. Actually, would that be too light for camera? I think it might be too light for on camera. Let me use the other lashes. I'll use these ones. Oh damn, that shit is hella curled, girl. Guess that's good for my eye shape because the outer part of my eye curves back so much. So if I'm gonna do a lash like this, I need the outer lash to, I guess, almost be curled that much. From here, you don't really see like the actual length of the lash. You see how long they are, but when I have my eyes like this, so it gives more of that sultry, yeah, vibe, which I'm not mad at. It kind of low-key reminds me of the girlies up in the West, up in America, that get their eyelashes done. And always has like this shape. I'm gonna take a touch of this color right here and put a little bit of that on this little inner corner part here. Because the eyelashes make the upper eye a little bit more heavy, I need to balance the bottom part, but I don't want to make the bottom part too dark. So this here helps a little bit. Why do I feel like I'm giving Liza Minnelli with this hair and eye makeup? Holy shit. Go, 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 go. I really don't feel like putting bottom lashes. I'm so fucking lazy, y'all. Oh, wow. It's kind of giving. Yeah. Okay. Last, but definitely not motherfucking least, is the lip product that's here. These are lip oils, and there was 3 colors, but I wanted this one because the other was just too much, I feel like. But this one is one of those like blackish lip glosses, lip oil. It says lip oil, but the thickness of it feels like a lip gloss, but it doesn't have the lip smoothing quality that lip gloss, because lip glosses are thicker, right? So they are able to smooth out and make it look like your lips are like glass, like that glass smooth sheen. But because it's a lip oil, it doesn't really have that. But the color itself, also it stains a little bit. It stains your lips like this really pretty raspberry shade. So even if the actual shine goes away, at least what's left is there's a little bit of color left. And also, this smells exactly like, you know, when you, as a child, when you go to the arcade or Dave & Buster's, or even like, you know, the places where there's like arcade games and then there's like a prize area to exchange your tickets. And for the bitches like me that don't get that many tickets and can only spend shit on like candy, they have that candy that's like comes in a packet of 2. On one side is like this flavored sugar that also has like ascorbic acid, so it's like a little bit, it's sour, sweet, sugary. And the other side is like this stick. I don't know what it's made out of, but it's like this edible stick. You lick it and then you dip it into the powder and you eat it like that. It smells exactly like a blue raspberry version of that. Honestly, y'all, if they made a perfume that smelled like this, my ass would be all over it. But you see that really fucking pretty purple? It goes so well with the eyes. Like the more you try to layer it, the more kind of like wrinkly, because like I said, it doesn't have that smoothing effect. So if you have lines in your lips like me, it just looks more pronounced the more you layer it. But the color itself, you can kind of layer, but don't expect it to like last because it's a lip oil. It's kind of flimsy. So when you like touch your lips together, it kind of, any gradation that you try to make will just get ruined anyway. Well, I like to do just one thin layer all over, pat it out with the finger, and then just in the center, just one more little bit of color. I'm just obsessed with the fact, because even in my opinion, I feel like you don't really find a lot of these like very low saturation sorts of shades up in the drugstore or wherever. Brush out the outer edge. I feel like it gives this more complete look. Oh, that is so nice. Like you see how it's not really in helping disguise my lip wrinkles because it's a lip oil. Okay, so there was the Wednesday collection. If you are a cool winter or just have a deeper skin tone and you're looking for cool tone makeup, this is where it's at. If you have lighter skin, fairer skin, then I do recommend like the eyeshadow and the lip. But the blush is just really kind of like, I wouldn't say it's bad, it's just the colors are, I would suggest for a very specific skin tone, I think. But definitely, if you're in the market for cool tone colors, girl, this is where it's at. NYX, where the fuck? Huh? The fact that I had to find these sorts of cool tone shades in a limited edition drugstore collection, anyway, who knows, maybe there's more, I'm just not fucking looking. But I don't know if they have anything like it, but one of their formatted eyeshadow palettes is this. This as well has a lot of pretty decent cool tones, but I'm talking about tones like this. I hope they bring these shades into this format, because I don't want this to be, I want these colors permanently in there for the girlies. Anyway, I love these eyelashes. My eyes are very short, so I feel like a lot of lashes just make them look, a lot of these Doyen style lashes just make my eyes look rounder and like taller, but I like this. Yeah. I got no time to lose. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Bye.